Hello, Facebook. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Joey. Let's get this all shared out. All right. So we are all shared out on these outlets. Let's get ourselves to... Oh, God. Okay. All right. Hello, Instagram. Give me a few minutes. Put this title on in. Hi, Kadiu. How are you? Hi. Hi, Freddie Polite. Hi, Shavonda Tion. I hope I'm saying your name right. Let me pin this. Yes. Yay. Hey, guys. All right. So we are going to get started very shortly. It just turned 8 o'clock. For those of you who are regular viewers, you know that I like to give everybody about 5 minutes to get on in here. I want to say, an extra Happy Mother's Day, not belated, because I did do Happy Mother's Day yesterday. I wanted to give a extra Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there, whether you are a biological mom or a spiritual mom or a pet mom like I am, or, whatever kind of nurturer you are. Happy Mother's Day to you. And to all those dads who are filling in the mom role as well, Happy Mother's Day to you. So we're going to get started very shortly. I hope you guys had a nice weekend. I did. It was a little colder than I would have preferred. But, hey, I got out. I went for a nice walk on Sunday. What else happened this weekend? Ooh, I watched the Erica and Jill versus. Y'all, I got my life. It was so great. I hope they do some. I heard that Luda and Nelly is next week, and I can't wait. Because once upon a time, Nelly was that guy for me, or that artist for me. But we'll see what happens. I want to say a belated happy birthday to my mom. It was her birthday on Friday and Mother's Day on Sunday. So, double shouts out to you, Mom. Okay. So we're okay. Why is this thing always so low? I never charge my audio recording device, but it lasts pretty long. Yeah, let me think what else I wanted to tell you guys about. Did I watch anything interesting? Yeah, I didn't watch anything interesting this weekend, except for the Jill and Erica thing. Hello, how are you? So guys, we are getting started in about 3 minutes. We've got plenty of stories to talk to you about. Also wanted to address something. I was just on Facebook and I was in a group and someone, I'm in crafting groups, and someone posted, it was a beautiful tumbler, but the tumbler was basically decorated in the Louis Vuitton pattern. And you know how we talk about fashion and patterns and how those were protected. And somebody asked in the group, how do you get a license to do those cups? And someone very correctly said, you can't, you don't. Very right. And someone else asked, well, what if, my initials match, like if it's a Louis Vuitton and my initials are LV. And I responded, that doesn't matter. And they got a little bit, snippy. And, I just want to let people know that, while you may have good intentions for your creations, hello, Real Urban, while you may have good intentions for your creations, the law don't care. So whether or not your initials are LV, and if you are using the Louis Vuitton pattern, you are putting yourself in danger of an infringement lawsuit. So you need to be careful. Hello, Sincere39, and I'm only here to give you the information. It is up to you to do with it what you will and to make your decisions. I'm not here to, scold you. I'm just here to educate you. All right? So, that's that. Sincere39, how was your weekend? Did you get a chance to be with your mom? If your mom is, close to you. Some of us, we couldn't be with our moms. I couldn't, I sent her a card because it was also her birthday. How you been, Sincere? I hope you had a good weekend. Hello, Yarn Weaver. How are you? Yes, people are coming in. All right, we are getting started very shortly. Okay, we're getting started in less than a minute, guys, okay? So remember, at 8:05, I want you to share this out to your people. All right? And Facebook, I want to remind you that there is a long delay. So you are free to come join us over on Instagram if you kind of want to join in more real time over at NPL Consulting Firm. But you are free to stay on Facebook as well. Okay? All right. I'm very excited about today's stories. Y'all, we're gonna have a Bible story in the discussion today. You will see what I mean. But there are some other things that I want to talk to you about first. All right. Yes, I'm glad you were able to catch the live too. All right, guys. It is 8:05, so it is time for you guys to share this out to your people, and I'm about to hit the record button, okay? All right. Here we go. And let's go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to NP. Okay. So, y'all, I need your help. I realized over the last few days that I had been entitling this show NPL Nuggets on my podcast. So I want to know from you guys, what title do you like better for the show? NPL Legal Dish or NPL Nuggets? Okay, so just put that in the comments. But let me finish my introduction. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you are wondering who I am or what I do, I'm Natalie Pierre-Louis. I'm the host of the show, and I'm the owner and operator of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help people like yourself get your business paperwork together. So things like registering your business with the state, making sure you have appropriate contracts, getting EIN numbers and DUNS numbers, making sure that you have brand protection strategies in place, hiring employees properly, having the proper procedures in place. I help you do all of that. You vote NPL Legal Dish? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But yes, I help you do all those things. If you're wondering why I'm qualified to help you do all of those things, I'm a licensed attorney. I have been one for 14 years and counting with a specialization in business formation. I have started multiple businesses for myself and others, both online and offline. I have had many careers in the realms of entrepreneurship, the law, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I am very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everyone as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school, but so many of you have amazing business ideas, and if you're going to be successful in business, there are just some concepts that you need to know. There's no way around that, okay? if you would like to work with me or see how I can help you, get your hello DG99 Elohim, or see how we can get your business, solidified, get the foundation ready, you're going to want to go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. That is the only link in my bio on Instagram, and it is all over my page on Facebook and Twitter and wherever else you can find me. There you can set up a free 15-minute consultation if you are a first-time client. You can also download my free biz launch cheat sheet that will help you pick your dream business and get it started in 7 days or less. You can also pick up the Business Startup Basics. It is a crash course in entrepreneurship and gives you step-by-step instructions from a seasoned attorney on all of those steps that you need to complete to be, a legitimate business owner and how you get them accomplished. So you can do all that and more at linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. Hello, all things Beehive. All right. But that is enough about me. Let's get to the show and what it's about. I see a couple of new faces in here. So here's how the show works. I pull stories from the news, stories that you guys have sent to me, stories that I see on social media sites, blogs, things like that. And I pull the ones that I feel like have concepts or lessons that we can learn as business owners, and we discuss them. So this is a conversation between all of us, okay? I want you guys to ask questions. I want you to put your comments in, in the box. So don't feel shy about talking. This is an open space for you to, expand your mind, learn something, and give your opinion, as long as you're respectful. Okay. All right. So we are about to get started. I'm very excited about today's stories. And yeah, so I think we're good. We're ready to get started. Let me get a couple of thumbs up so I know that we are ready, and we are going to get, and we will get the ball rolling. So I want to see at least one thumbs up. I'm only asking for one. As long as you're not driving. If you are driving, keep your hands at 10 and 2. But if you're not driving, I want to see at least one thumbs up, okay? All right. And for you guys out there in podcast land, don't feel shy. You can give me a thumbs up too. Thank you for the thumbs up, Yarn Weaver. All right. The first thing that I want to tell you guys about, we always talk about copyrights and how having a copyright can protect you, from people stealing your work and, using it ways that you don't want to. But apparently in North Carolina, the state, or at least in the state of North Carolina, the state does not have to follow copyright laws. So recently there was a case called Allen versus Cooper. There was this videographer. He had been shooting footage of a shipwreck since 1998. And, he had videos all over the place, and he was posting them on his platforms. And, this was his work, and he had copyrights on them. So he'd been doing this since 1998, and then in 2013, hey Zephyrina, then in 2013, he realizes that the state of North Carolina has been using his videos to, on their sites and to promote tourism to North Carolina without his permission. So this gentleman, whose last name was Allen, he sued the state of North Carolina for copyright infringement. And ultimately he brought it up to the Supreme Court, and he lost against the state of North Carolina. The Supreme Court found that a state is, because of a state's sovereign immunity, in certain instances, a state does not have to abide by copyright laws. So when you are posting your work out there, especially if it's work that, maybe something that your state can use to promote their profile, the state, based on this decision, doesn't have to get your permission to use the footage. Now, again, this was only in North Carolina. This is not binding on all other states. But if this happens in another state, this is a case that they could use to strengthen that argument. So at least in the state of North Carolina, be very careful, because they have actually written it into law that the state does not have to honor your copyrights, your legal copyrights, okay? So I just wanted you guys to know that real quick, especially if you know anybody in North Carolina, let them know. All right? The second thing that I wanted to remind you guys, or, well, update you guys about, if you've watched this show with any regularity, we have talked a lot about celebrities being sued for posting pictures of themselves that were taken by other photographers. And when we have talked about these stories, like J-Lo was sued a bunch of times, Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, Bella and Gigi Hadid, anybody you can think of who has a high profile, who uses social media extensively, they have probably been sued for copyright infringement by a photographer. Now, here's the thing. Most of these lawsuits have been filed by one attorney. One single guy has been filing all of these copyright infringement suits. His name is Richard Leibowitz. He is an attorney out in California. But apparently the courts have had enough of Richard Leibowitz's antics, and they have sanctioned him. Richard Leibowitz has been fined over $23,000 in sanctions in 2 different suits. He has also been ordered by the court to complete a firm management court, and he also has a contempt citation against him for lying to a judge. Now, what happened? Apparently, Richard Leibowitz, while he has been filing these lawsuits, he has not been following proper court procedure. What does that mean? When you file a lawsuit, right? Hi, Open Arms Cleaning, Chosen 71. I remember you told me that. So when you file a lawsuit, you have to file in a correct, what they call venue. So you have to file, in a correct state, in the correct county, in the correct district, and you have to follow the rules of the court. Richard Leibowitz, in his ridiculous copyright infringement suits that he has been flinging out into the atmosphere, he has been, throwing caution to the wind and not following court procedures, and in fact, lying to the judge, which is a big no-no, because in a courtroom, the judge is king. So Richard Leibowitz has been fined over $23,000 and has been ordered to go learn how to run a law firm because he has not been following the rules. And I'm sure it doesn't help that he has been, flooding the courts with these copyright infringement suits, most of which the court said they have been frivolous, but they're saying that he is filing all of these infringement suits to force celebrities to negotiate. So if you think about this, I was thinking about this case and I'm like, Richard Leibowitz is probably taking these cases on a contingency basis, meaning he only wins if you win or you settle. Hello to everybody who's coming in, right? So most of these cases are settled at $10,000 to $20,000 a pop. And an attorney can take as much as 50% of your winnings, after court costs and everything. Well, actually, even before court costs. So let's say Richard Leibowitz, filed a case for you and against Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande is like, I don't want to fight this suit, just pay them $20,000. Richard Leibowitz is probably pocketing anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000. So it's to his benefit to file all these lawsuits, but he has been annoying the courts because he has been filing so much. So because of all his antics, they have ordered him, hi Bud God 202, they have ordered him to go take a course to learn how to manage his law firm properly and follow court procedures. So the moral of the story is, just because you can file a lawsuit doesn't mean that you should. Okay? All right. So we are going to move on to our next story. Those were just some teasers that I wanted to open up with, just to, give you guys a little taste of what's going on. But you are watching NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you want to watch back episodes of this, you want to go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm, and there you will find the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can watch the video version, or you can subscribe to my podcast where you can listen to the audio version. But we have a question from one of the viewers. DG99 Elohim said, "What do you think about the CBD hemp business?" I think the CBD hemp business is a great industry to get in. It's still, a fledgling industry. I would say in terms of trying to solidify yourself in the CBD hemp business right now, trademarks are already being filed. So if you have a brand, you're going to want to start filing early and often because you don't want to be boxed out of the market. I know that there was one trademark that was already approved. I think it was King Weedy or something like that was approved for hemp cigarettes. So if you're interested in getting into the CBD business, now is the time. You don't want to wait until it's all settled and you want to get in on the ground running and start solidifying your space, in the market now. All right? But we're going to move on to our next story. Basketball fans, do you guys know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is? He's a guy who plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. If you know who this guy Giannis is, give me a basketball emoji. I can barely pronounce his name. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, so he's a basketball player. Yes. Oh, you know who he is, DG99. Oh, Sincere knows who he is too. Yes, the Greek Freak. Okay, so this basketball player with his very interesting name. So apparently he has multiple trademarks for this phrase Greek Freak, and apparently he's known by that phrase since you popped up with it, DG. I didn't even ask for it. Well, Giannis, he has trademarks for Greek Freak for things like sports drinks and snacks and backpacks, aftershave, basketball nets, and equipment, right? Well, the Greek Freak, Giannis, he is expanding his empire. He has filed another trademark for Greek Freak in the class of online gambling. Okay, so remember, I want you guys to remember, when you file a trademark, you have to pick the class of where your trademark is. So when you trademark something, you don't own it, hi busy with B, you don't own it, forever and ever. You own it within your industry. So if you think about the McDonald's arches, that is only trademarked within the fast food industry. The Apple logo is only trademarked in the tech industry. Things like that. So you can only trademark within your industry, right? So Giannis, the Greek Freak, he is expanding the classes that his trademark is a part of, and he is trying to get into the online gambling industry. Now, how this is going to work, it might be dicey because there are legal ramifications of online gambling. It's legal. If you busy bit with B, if you would like to connect with me, you can use the link in my bio and book a free 15-minute consultation. Just go to the book your one-on-one session button. Okay, so go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm and book your free 15-minute consultation. Hello, TB Moore. Zephyrina, can you let me know what you were are you saying no, that you don't know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is? But yes, so Giannis is trying to get into the online gambling industry. We don't know how that's going to turn out. He hasn't started it yet, but he is at least, doing his job. Awesome. He is at least doing his job and securing that trademark so that if it does go through and he can do his online gambling business, his trademark is already settled. So good job to the Greek Freak. We stand, a savvy businessman. All right. Also, if you didn't know, this gentleman Giannis, he is suing a company called Fan Closet because they have been selling Greek Freak merchandise without his permission. So remember, Giannis already has trademarks for Greek Freak for different types of merchandise. So this business they haven't gotten his permission to use Greek Freak as a trademarked. Oh, you don't know? Okay. They haven't gotten his permission to use Greek Freak to sell this merch. They would need a licensing agreement. They have been selling Greek Freak merchandise without a license. So Giannis, he has filed a trademark infringement suit against Fan Closet. Apparently, he sent them a cease and desist letter, and they took all the merchandise off their site, but they haven't given him, any, or they haven't given his legal team any response that they are going to make sure that they don't use the Greek Freak mark anymore. So he is still pursuing this trademark infringement suit because he wants the court to give a declaration that no, Fan Closet, you can't use Greek Freak, okay? So good luck to Giannis. Yeah, so that was one for you basketball fans out there, all right? What time is it? Okay, I want to get to this story because it is the title story, and hopefully we'll be able to. If we don't get to the other two, we'll get to them tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So this story that we were talking about, if you see the title of the show, it's called Jacob and Esau Part 2. Now, for those of you who were not, raised either in the church, or if you are not familiar with Bible stories, in the Bible, there's a story of Jacob and Esau. They were two brothers. They had the same father, but they had two different mamas. And no, that's not the right story. That's a different story. Anyway. There were two brothers. They were twins. Sorry, that's my bad. They were twins. One was really hairy. The other wasn't. Anyway, Dad liked the one who was really hairy because he was like a big hunter. They'd go out and shoot animals together. The other brother, Jacob, he was more of a homebody. He hung out with his mom, right? Mom was afraid that Dad was going to give everything he had to the hairy brother, Esau. So Jacob, she trained Jacob basically to scam his own brother. So Jacob told his brother one day, his brother came back from, doing what he do, being out, getting dirty. He comes home, he's super hungry, and Jacob's cooking up a storm, and Esau is like, Jacob, yo, I'm about to die. Can you please just give me some of what you're cooking, right? And Jacob was like, sure, I'll give you some, brother, but you need to sign over your birthright. Meaning all of the rights that he had as the older brother, because even though they were twins, he was born first. Jacob wanted Esau basically to sign over his rights as the big brother to his little brother for a bowl of food. And Esau did it. And that just led to a whole bunch of stuff that we're not even going to get into. But that is the basic premise of the Jacob and Esau story. All right. And I'm going to tell you why this applies to the next story that we are talking about. All right. Now, does anybody remember the Jacob and Esau story growing up? I read it so many times. If y'all didn't know, I grew up in the church. You remember them, Zephyrina? My father's an ordained minister, grew up in church, read the Bible, all the stories, had the children's storybooks, all that stuff. So they are emblazoned in my mind. All right. So I'm going to tell you how Jacob and Esau applies to this story. So there are two brothers. They're the Everly brothers. One is named Phil and one is named Don. They made a song in the 1960s called Kathy's Clown. Okay. And when they put this song out, they were co-authors. They both got royalties, and they both, you remember the story? Yes. And they both, when they presented the song, it was always presented as a song that the brothers created and performed together. Okay. So that was in the 1960s. 20 years down the line, I don't know what happened to the brothers. Maybe somebody stole somebody's girl or whatever, but Phil and Don stopped talking to each other, right? So then Don comes to Phil and he says, hey, Phil, all the rights that you have to that song that we made in the 60s, I want you to sign them over to me. Okay. And Phil does it. But even though Phil signed over his rights of authorship to his brother Don, in the public, they still presented the song as they did it together. Okay. So then fast forward to 2014, Phil dies. Phil is the one who signed over his rights. And Phil's heirs, meaning his children or grandchildren or whoever, whoever he left behind on this earth, they want his royalties for the song. And they are suing Don, the brother Don, for the royalties for the song. And Don is like, no, because, oh boy, he signed over his rights in the 80s and he said that I could have it. So this case actually has to be decided. The court is trying to figure out something called ownership versus authorship, because while Phil did sign over his authorship rights, it doesn't necessarily, the family is arguing that it doesn't mean that he doesn't own it. So I want to ask you guys as an audience, right? Phil signed over his authorship rights in the 80s, right? But him and Don, they were both still acting like they were both still working together, and they were like, oh yeah, this is a song by both Phil and Don Everly, right? So do you think that the family has a right to sue to have this agreement rescinded or canceled because they were still acting like he was a part of it after he signed his rights away? Because that is the argument right now that the court is trying to decide. Yeah, he may have signed it away on paper, but y'all were still out here acting like you did this together. So who do you think is right in this scenario? Are his heirs right for trying to get the rights back and have this agreement canceled? Or is Don right for saying, look, my brother signed over his rights, leave me alone? Who do you think is right in this situation? Who do you think is right? Who do you Yes, Sincere, I am a PK. My father got ordained when I was in law school. So I'm a late PK. But I did grow up in the church. Yeah, so who do you guys think is right in this situation? Are Phil's heirs right because Don was out here still benefiting from Phil saying he's part of the song? Or is Don right in saying, look, my brother signed over his rights, so what's your problem? Sincere39 said he signed his rights away. So you don't think it matters that Don was still out here saying, oh yeah, it's me and Phil doing this. So you don't think that matters at all? Hi, and to be natural. What do you think? I personally, for me, I feel like for Phil to have done this in the 80s, unless he was, not in his right mind, he knew what he was doing. So I don't understand why the heirs are getting involved. Yarn Weaver says, it seems like authorship versus ownership is not clearly defined, at least in their state. He was still getting royalties. If so, the family may have the right. Sincere39 said they were touring and performing. No. So after Phil signed his rights away, he was not getting money. But Don was still out here saying that him and Phil did the song. Right? And then Phil died. And then Phil's kids were like, we want them royalties back. We want this agreement canceled. So that's what happened. So does that change anything for you guys? Does it change it? Does that change anything for you guys? Let me know. Because this is, and you're right, Yarn Weaver, that there is an issue between authorship and ownership right here. And that is exactly what the court is trying to decide. So we have to wait until the court makes their decision. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Sincere39 said yes. Hello, the fruit giver. All right, cool. All right, so we are just going to wait and see what happens between Phil and Don. But I personally, I kind of would, I would like to see the family this canceled. I feel like when this happened, maybe something bad happened. Maybe they just need to kind of mend fences as a family. Why can't y'all come together? It has been over 30 years since, you and your brother fell out. Why can't you mend fences with his heirs? He's not even here anymore. What is the issue? Right? But that's just me. Okay. All right. Okay. So we only have 3 minutes left. Oh, it is in court already since they're 39. The court is now deliberating. They are now trying to figure out ownership versus authorship, because yes, Phil did sign some of his rights away, but it was still being presented as if he was still one of the stewards of this song, right? Okay. So those were the stories that I had for you this evening. I was not able to finish all of them, but I did get through the majority of them. Very happy about that. We have 2 already in, on the docket for tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I saw some new faces in here, which was really cool. Please feel free to come back. Remember, tomorrow is Talk to Me Tuesday. So, my hour-long sessions are 2:47, but on Tuesdays, you agree with me? Thank you, Zephyrina. Oh, Zephyrina thinks Dawn should win. Remember, on Tuesdays, between 10 a.m. and 2:30 p.m., you can book a 25-minute coaching session with me, brief coaching session for $25. Okay, so you can go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm and go to book your one-on-one session for that. Make sure that you pick up Business Startup Basics to get your crash course in entrepreneurship. If you are using the corona time, this quarantine time to get that business plan together, you need Business Startup Basics. Okay, hi, more for you, Key. All right. So we're going to be back here tomorrow with more stories. If you find anything that you guys would like me to talk about, I would love it. I love when you guys find me stories because they're always so interesting and so timely. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Make sure to tell your friends. And have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Oh, good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. Good night, Joey. And happy belated Mother's Day to all you moms out there. I did say happy Mother's Day yesterday, but I want to say it again today. And yes, bye guys.